What's up, guys? Igor Hernandez here. I'm one of the attorneys at Cornish Hernandez and Gonzalez, where I practice injury law and first-party home and property claims. And today I want to talk to you about something called umbrella policies, umbrella insurance policies. Why do you need them? What are they? And should you get one? And before I get into all this in the video, as always, I do not sell insurance. I have nothing to do with insurance companies. I don't own an insurance company. I'm not an insurance agent. Nobody in my family is an insurance agent or owns an insurance company. In fact, I hate insurance companies and I sue them for a living because they collect premiums and then they refuse to pay out when they have to. But with that said, insurance is a necessary evil. And there are certain insurance policies that you should have because they protect your assets. They protect basically your livelihood and your future. And one of those policies is what's called an umbrella insurance policy. Now, what's an umbrella policy? Well, there's your first line of insurance. So let's say you have car insurance, right? Well, your car insurance is going to be your first line of insurance for car accidents. So if you have bodily injury coverage, if you injure somebody in a car accident, then your bodily injury portion of your car policy is going to cover your liabilities, meaning when that person sues you for the injuries, then your insurance policy is going to cover that or fight that for you or defend the case or whatever the case may be. That's your first line of insurance. That's what we call a first payer. There's something on top of that called an umbrella policy. And what it is it's an extended or an additional level of insurance to protect you. So let's say I have $250,000 of bodily injury coverage. That means if I hurt somebody in a car accident and it's my fault, my insurance is going to pay up to $250,000 for the injury of the person. So if I break somebody's arm, if I, whatever, some accident that is not super light, not super severe, somewhere in the middle, that insurance policy probably is going to be enough to cover the incident. But let's say something worse would have happened. Let's say I accidentally kill somebody in a car accident, or let's say I accidentally get into a car accident where somebody gets paralyzed or something like that. Those are major injuries and or death. That's a big deal. $250,000 is not going to be enough to cover that liability, meaning the people that happens to, if I get into an accident and somebody's paralyzed for life, that person can come after me for the entirety of the injury, and my insurance policy is going to be nowhere near enough to protect me and my assets from the lawsuit. So there's something called an umbrella policy that you can get, which is on top of the current bodily injury that you have. So most umbrella policies, I think all umbrella policies start at $1 million and they go up. So what happens is you would have, let's say, $250,000 of bodily injury coverage. And then on top of that, you would have $1 million or $2 million or $5 million or whatever the umbrella policy is. And in that scenario, if, if I get into an accident where somebody's severely or catastrophically injured, my bodily injury, $250,000 is going to cover up to the $250,000. And then my umbrella policy is going to kick in and cover the rest up to the limits of the policy. Now, something that's important for you to know is that you could have uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage as an umbrella as well. And I've talked about this before in other videos regarding underinsured and uninsured. But if you don't know what that is, it's basically a type of insurance that you can get so that if somebody injures you in a car accident and they don't have enough insurance, let's say you're the one who's catastrophically injured as a result of the car accident, and the person who injured you does not have enough insurance. Let's say they have $100,000 or $10,000 or no insurance. Well, your uninsured or underinsured motorist insurance is going to kick in and cover your injuries. So, like for example, you could have the $250,000 of BI that I was talking about, and then you could get $1 million umbrella where you have $1 million in underinsured or uninsured motorist insurance. So somebody would have catastrophically injured you. Now you have up to $1 million or $1,250,000 rather of potential coverage that you could get. And here's the best part about here's the best part about umbrella policies. Umbrella policies are very cheap compared to normal insurance. So for a car accident insurance, let's say bodily injury, that kind of stuff, for $250,000 of bodily injury, if you're a safe driver and everything's the way it's supposed to be, with Progressive, which was what I have, I pay about $1,000 a year, like $1,200 a year, something like that, for $250,000 of BI and $250,000 of unstacked uninsured motorist insurance. To get a $1 million umbrella policy with some of the most expensive carriers out there, you could get that for about $600 to $800 a year, which means basically it's about half of what I'm paying now for bodily injury coverage, and it's $1 million, which is substantially more than what I'm paying for right now for the underlying insurance. Now, the reason for why the rates are cheaper, it's not a mystery. It's not some trick or some hack. The reason why the rates are cheaper for umbrella policies is because the risk is also less for them. Meaning they know that 99% of the time, the kind of accidents and injuries that you get into are going to be below the $250,000 range. So for the most part, they're never going to have to assume any liability. They're never going to have to pay out on the policy. They're just collecting premiums. And then, once in a while, once in 100 years, something terrible happens and they're going to have to pay. But that's all calculated into the risk profile, which they use in order to calculate what the premium is going to be. But long story short, guys, if you care about your life and your livelihood, and if you care about your liabilities, meaning the potential for somebody to come after you and your property because you accidentally injured them, because you were negligent, then I highly recommend you go out and get an umbrella policy, because that's going to A, give you peace of mind as to if you hurt somebody, what's going to happen, and B, give you peace of mind if you get uninsured or underinsured motorist insurance with it, because if somebody would have hurt you severely in a car accident, in a crash, and they don't have enough insurance, which is basically everybody in Florida, then you could at least have some peace of mind that you would have $1,250,000 of coverage to cover you for your injuries, your pain and suffering, and lost wages and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, guys, that's it for now, and I will catch you again next time.